talk a little bit about social media, and I know there's a session today on social media as well. This is an area that is really emerging in a dramatic way in the multifamily space in the U.S., and I can only assume here. Clearly, it's a conversation, and it's a social conversation that's getting powered by technology and tools today. And how many of you in the room have some form of social media present today? Facebook, Twitter, right? The vast majority. We, over the past 2 years or so, realized that social media was a buzz in our space. It continues to be a buzz. There's clearly a tremendous amount of conversation, both actual conversation and online conversation happening in that area. For Rent knew we needed to have a presence there. So our first steps were to kind of go out and do that. Today, For Rent is present in almost every form of social media that's out there. Alone, we have 70 plus Facebook business pages for all of our local markets where you can find content about the local area. Our local teams are very active within their markets that they're in, both physically as well as in the social media landscape. Our customers are incredibly active within the social media space as well, Facebook and so on. We've done the same in Twitter. We've got 70 plus Twitter profiles. There's a number of folks that, for those of you that are active on Twitter, I'd be more than happy to share with you their Twitter names. Are great people to follow for industry news, updates, things that are happening that may be relevant for you. And our customers are as well incredibly active within the Twitter, what I think they call it, the Twitter sphere, I think is one of the catchphrases that are out there. We're also reaching out in social media with our own content through our blogs that we do on a regular basis, our customer newsletters that we send out quarterly, but it's not information about For Rent. It's not purely a propaganda effort. It's industry news, lifestyle information, things that consumers and our advertisers are going to be interested in. And our advertisers too. I mean, it's amazing how we parallel a lot of the same efforts, and so in an effort to kind of speak the same language, and I mentioned we sort of approach the market as a collaborative effort with our advertisers to be sure that we're reaching consumers in all ways possible. LinkedIn, how many are on LinkedIn? Yeah, big group as well. There's a number of industry groups that you may already be a part of that are very active there. A lot of great information happens within the multifamily space. We've also gone to the effort to make it mobile. Again, as you're starting to see, we sort of weaved all of our reach points, our touch points, in a way that we can connect them through all the various points of media. So all of our information that happens on our mobile site, we're able to share and extend to the social media landscape. We've even gone so far as to do consumer contests. This is one we did last year. It was called Pet Pads Unleashed. And you see the various contests that companies put on. This was one where folks could post their favorite pet pictures. And it was completely branded with For Rent, and we extended it to our Facebook pages, our Twitter pages. But it was a really fun effort to do. And from a success standpoint, 150 photos submitted, 180 plus increase in fan pages, 25 photo views to Flickr. It was a very interactive contest. We've also done a video contest, like Tell Me Why You Need to Move, and we've done some various things. It's amazing how popular, again, when marketing presents these things to me, I think, are people really going to do that? And it's amazing. It's amazing what people do, especially in the user-generated content space. So it's been a very successful initiative for us. And the benefits are certainly there. It's increased our brand exposure, referrals, and loyal advocates to our brand. They're always looking for what's next. We get inquiries as to what's happening. Continues to build relationships, consumer market insights. And the underlying benefit has been the SEO impact. Again, we're continuing to drive more consumers to our content, to our advertisers' content as they're looking for their next home. So it's been very beneficial for us in that regard. So that's what we did over the past couple of years to just have an active presence in social media. But we're always looking for the way to take social media and really say, how can we show, though, that it's generating prospects and leases? That was always the silver bullet that we could just never seem to find. We knew we had to have a presence there. We believed there was a lot of conversation happening. We believed there was an opportunity, but we could never find it. Even though the conversations were all happening, in the space itself, we could never connect the dots between social media and leads and leases. And so we were continuing to look for that. Yet, you can see that the world from a social media standpoint, how consumers are using social media is changing, right? There's social shopping, consumers talking with other consumers in their network, which we see today all the time within things like Facebook, and social CRM, how businesses talk to consumers, which is really where we found ourselves squarely needing to be as a new place to extend the reach of what we do. And I think you're seeing this sort of trend, right? From directed, solicit opinion, trust recommendations, to impulse and serendipity, recommending, buying, referrals. Those are some of the changes that we're seeing in how consumers are interacting and making decisions, especially within social media. And social discovery is already a big deal, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but down the left side are some of the popular brands, Forever 21, People, NFL, and so on. The blue line is the referral traffic from social media, the green line being referral traffic from Google. So clearly folks are starting to drive social discovery through social networks in a much more meaningful way than traditional search engines. So these are trends that we've been kind of keeping our eye on and realizing we need to find a way to be there. And consumers are 4 times more likely to buy, right, when a product's recommended by a friend. The recall of an ad is greater, the confidence in that recommendation. That was an area that we clearly we know. I know I'll ask a friend for a great restaurant recommendation or places to go. I'm gonna place greater stock in that than I am in almost anything else I find. Word of mouth is the most trusted form. Once again, when you're for media solutions, how do you find your way in the middle of that, which was certainly challenging. And not surprisingly, recommendations build trust. Some data that'll show you there that 91% say consumer reviews are number 1 aid in buying decisions. Again, as an ad source, we don't have reviews on our site today. 87% trusting friends recommendations over critics. Clearly some dramatic statistics that suggest that you need to have a presence in one form or another in this really fairly new way that people are making their decisions. So it's back to the future for local businesses. For Rent's really kind of come almost full circle. It started out as a local publication. Fortunately, over time, we've maintained that local presence because what we're seeing is this kind of movement back to local, except local's happening more in an online way, right? Social means the community, right? Your connection to the community, your connection to what's happening. I know when Jason told me the story of how this conference came together is because he was at a local association meeting and the idea gained a little momentum and here we are today. It brings kind of those old sensibilities to online marketing. We really wanted to find a way to take advantage of that and really kind of get to that point. Facebook's clearly the platform for managing these relationships. I don't need to spend a lot of time telling you about the statistics there. In fact, I think Canada was way ahead of the Facebook curve long before the U.S. was. So it's certainly not a new concept there, but there's new demands on consumer search habits. The shopping site, which is what ForRent is today, right? Things are bought and sold, listings of content, anonymous and solitary, right? Monetary exchange, and a social marketplace where people come to find out about things. They want to share. They have a stream of conversations. It's much more interactive. It has a warmer feel about it. And so it's a trend that we recognize we need to get out in front. Social CRM is the way we describe that, right? There's traditional e-commerce, which is where ForRent Media Solutions has been. We've been beholden to Google and the other search engines and trying to stay ahead of their changes with all their algorithms with respect to search, right? It's all about clicks and leads and conversions and acquisition of traffic and turning those traffic into prospects. And we're moving to something that looks like this. Marketing to existing customers, helping with referrals and recommendations, emerging relationships, referrals and recommendations, something that we hadn't participated in prior to, and taking a more human approach to it. So consumer focus on our product initiatives, human approach to it in the way we're marketing, and really having both sides, I think, is the key. And so how have we done that? Well, we've had to come out and say, advertisers need a playbook. In 2011, you need a playbook to be successful in these emerging areas. One of the ways we did it was we developed a program to help do that, and there was a couple things that were integral to do that. Establish an authentic presence, building advertiser Facebook pages was critical for that. Helping them enlist their customers, their residents. I mean, for those of you that are owners and managers, you all have residents. Soliciting them as fans, being able to reach into your existing customers for referrals and recommendations is certainly critical, right? And spark and join conversations with continual information and things that are motivating for consumers to help not only retain them as residents, but also to drive new prospects for you. So how do we do that? Some of you may have seen we launched an exclusive partnership with Oodle in the Oodle marketplace. It launched March 1st of this year. Oodle is the exclusive provider of Facebook Marketplace today. In addition to Facebook Marketplace, they have 250 additional sites, including MySpace, which certainly isn't what it once was, but AOL Rented Spaces, Walmart Classifieds, and Military.com, which is a significant site within the U.S. itself, and 250 other sites that they power throughout the marketplace. And then Facebook Marketplace was the one that was really interesting for us. It's the largest business application within Facebook today, and it's growing substantially. Today, there are about 1 million prospects looking for their new apartment home via the marketplace, and For Rent is the exclusive provider of apartment content that's there, especially in the markets that we're in. This graph's hard to see, but it just gives you kind of a graphical look at the impact of consumers searching within the marketplace itself. So combining the efforts of For Rent Media Solutions with the power of Facebook Marketplace has been critical. Just a little bit of a branding look at how we've come out with this. Connect, converse, and convert. We wanted to be able to showcase for our advertisers and for consumers that we're extending the reach of content, not only in a typical e-commerce form, but also into this new social CRM type of environment. So how does it work? We extend the reach of all of our content to Oodle, and they provide those listings throughout their marketplace, 250 sites and 13 million users today, and growing. But it's more than a traditional affiliate partnership like I showed back in the vast distribution slide. In the typical environment, when we extend the reach of content, if somebody were searching on an affiliate site, they click a listing, it brings them back to forrent.com. This is a little bit unique in that all of the content is housed within the marketplace, and it's much more, I guess, consistent, if you will, from the Facebook experience. So the listings are there, preferred placement, share what you're looking for, benefits from the social context, all of your friends see what you're looking at, all the properties and content that you're interested in is shared in your stream, so it's connected that way. The detail page is the same. Again, we've extended some of the same technology, unique toll-free numbers, direct link to the Facebook page of that business itself. So it's become a very integrated process between a traditional classified listing and a Facebook page itself. The identity of the seller is much more prominent. You have transparency within Facebook itself. Highlights the connections between the person that's looking for the new opportunity and their social network. In other words, you can see who your friends are, or your friends of friends that may live in a community or be fans of that community itself. Every listing has its own wall and its own business page. So it's not just a listing, a classified listing anymore. It's truly a socially connected business listing. Within the business page itself, we've actually integrated all the listings for a community. So this could be consistent with, in this case, an apartment portfolio, but it would be the same if it was an auto dealership or a real estate agent. All of that's in place. And responses are conversations. Rather than a traditional lead form, all the conversation, all the back and forth is shared. So it's a much more consistent feel with the Facebook experience today. And as you look demographically at the up-and-coming apartment prospects, this fits very closely with the profile and their experience over time. I know, going back to my freshman 9th grade daughter, she doesn't know a day without social media and without Facebook and without this kind of interface. So this will be a very consistent opportunity.